gravada depois da segunda, a quarta está a ser gravada depois da terceira, depois da segunda. E a terceira vez que eu entrei no jogo ele ficou a pedir para ajustar uns slides e foi muito engraçado, só que eu não consegui porque eu não deixava iniciar live porque eu tinha a data de PlayStation 7 para 10 anos, 20, 30 anos, não, 30 anos daqui para a frente, ou 40, 30, para eu conseguir o achievement que, by the way, consegui. Mas estes slides foram muito engraçados e pronto, foi isso. What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all of the game settings to your specific about who hasn't. It's just what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. And I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time. But that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? Maybe that's the only information. Well, it's time for me to leave. There's still one setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but it's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again if you can find me. Talk soon. Okay. Oh! Yeah! Epilogue. Não, antes disso eu tenho que... Peraí.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, agora eu vou fazer o speedrun.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
A gente fazer isto tudo normal.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
New Age music. Eu preciso de fazer isto várias vezes até que ele me abra a porta automaticamente. Assim que eu chego aqui, eu consigo fazer a speedrun. Mas para isso eu preciso de restart no jogo, que é para ele abrir a porta várias vezes. Dá para cair aqui? Não.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ok, agora precisamos fazer isto outra vez.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Estou a ficar tonto, mas é. Aham. Calma aí por este lado.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Quelle surprise. Quelle surprise.
Stanley walked...
Ok. E agora se basta ter início diferente, acho eu.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. I don't know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Acho que é isto. Acho que é o World Record. Acho que isto aqui é o World Record. Acho que isto aqui é o World Record, guys.
Stanley walked...
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
World Record, guys. World Record.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Parece carro de Fórmula 1, pá, fogo.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Max Verstappen!
Here's the door, just go.
Esse é um carro de Fórmula 1, oh meu Deus. Agora estou nas boxes a meter a gasolina e trocar os pneus. Ok. Carro de Fórmula 1, carro de Fórmula 1, carro de Fórmula 1.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Bora, mano, corre, puto, corre.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Tá shit a ouvir.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Tanta merda e a gente ainda não encontramos os
He refused to
nossos
believe it.
co-workers.
He couldn't
Tipo, onde é que eles
accept
foram?
it. His own life
Tipo,
in
ok, estão a ser
someone else's
controlados,
control? Never. It was
Morreram,
unthinkable.
foram para cá.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Blind to the world.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided...
Consegui ou não? Acho que agora tenho...
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Consegui ou não? Ah, porquê que não deu? Porquê que não... Oh, mano, como é assim? Complete the Stanley Parable in under 4 minutes, 22 seconds, not a... Meu Deus.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Quer dizer o quê? Que eu tenho que voltar?
No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Ok. Certeza? Yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Estou cheio de ouvir, amigo.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Não, mas...
This is the story of a man named...
Calma, já estou a ficar bem confuso, mano.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Eu fiz mal.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Calma.
Whoops, nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me.
Silly you.
Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Ya. 8. Mano, eu estou a tentar platinar o jogo. Agora preciso de reiniciar o jogo até... Vou conseguir.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Eu tinha que ter início diferente.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his... Coming to a
tem que fazer
staircase, Stanley
normal.
walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
GG's.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Blind to the world.
But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided... blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin. The feeling of... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Só que eu não consigo fazer isso porque eu já fiz aquela cena que conseguia fazer a speedrun. Então agora não sei como é que eu reset o jogo sem sair e voltar a entrar do jogo. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
consegui.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing
Consegui,
presence of the
chupa,
bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the...
Okay. Okay. Commitment. Play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of Tuesday. Stanley Parable. Commitment achievement. Huh? Pera, what? Acho que o último achievement é mesmo... Calma. Tuesday achievement. Play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday. Como assim, mano? Não. Tenho que deixar o jogo aberto durante 24 horas seguidas. Como é que isto é possível? Não. Como é que isso é possível sequer? Oh, mano. It is Wednesday, my dudes. No. Featuring the narrator. Como assim, mano? Stanley Parable. Trophy guide. Ok. Ao menos hoje é domingo. Se fosse para... Ok. Step 1. Finish game. Bit. Ok. Ah. Manually set the date any Monday of the calendar. Go to settings, date time. Turn off your internet connection from your PS5 as your system could automatically switch back to the real time. Open the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe and then start a new game. You can also do this method. Ou seja, isto. Ok. Ok, ou seja, este troféu da terça-feira não é tipo uma piada, é mesmo tipo, tens que deixar o jogo aberto durante uma terça-feira inteira. Como é que isso é possível? Uma terça-feira inteira. Ok. Meu Deus. Ok, I guess. Pá, eu vou só à casa de banho antes de jogar esta última cena. Que merda. Peraí. Frio, caralho. Epilogues. End is never the end, 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 is never the end. Many, many years later. Alô? Aposto que tem um segredo nestas pedras. Mano, é este o epílogo? Ah. Agora. Oh, damn. Por acaso é bonito isto. See the sun rise in a grateful universe. Isto é o quê? Um portal? Isto é suposto ser uma referência a Shadow of the Colossus ou uma cena assim. Damn. Boo! Corri nine ball. Ok. Mais. Okay. Yeah, I'm not reading all of that. Mano, aposto que um destes vai dizer Francisco. Jeff.
Stanley.
Mano, eu sabia, mano.
Stanley.
Mano, eu sabia quando este ia ser diferente.
Stanley.
Stanley button. Oh. As figurinhas. Vou apanhar 20 de 6. The 2 doors. Oh. Hello again. Oh. It's you. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Oh. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise. What nonsense. Stanley Parable is not sacred. You do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. Eu disse que não, mas agora vou ter que voltar e dizer que sim. Oh meu Deus, vou ter que ver tudo outra vez. Pessoas a ver a VOD. Passem à frente! Os meus 5 viewers. Nem vou andar, vou só ficar a olhar. Para o telemóvel. Antipas. Calma, estou-me a confundir, é que eu estou a comer uma maçã. Por aí. No more spin-offs, no more sequels. Ok, calma, desta vez eu vou ler isto. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into the entire franchise. Over disasters, and commercial research. Ambitions in all. No, it's clear that what the fans want. It's
Jim.
of course. Thank you for enjoying the new content. A gente já sabe o que é que ele vai dizer, portanto. Eu não acabei de fazer. Não acabei de fazer isto, mano. Vou até ligar lá no Discord. O basquetebolista Zhang Zhiguang, a figura do Guangzhou Young Lions, foi suspenso depois de ter levado a namorada para o seu quarto de hotel durante um estágio, escondida dentro de uma mala. O que é que o amor faz? I'm just a chill guy. Excited for 2025. Bem, vamos lá ver o epílogo pela quinta vez. Este é o Gabata pequeno. É muito bom. É muito criativo. Se já não o tiveres visto antes de jogar. Que eu já tinha visto praticamente quase tudo o que havia para ver. E pensar que há pouco tempo eu quase comprei este jogo. Ainda bem que eu não comprei. Ok, desta vez não podemos. Não podemos. É que eu ainda há bocado eu estava a skipar tudo bem rápido que eu meti. Que eu meti a opção de não. Ok, olá, estás de volta, bom sítio outra vez. Did you consider my idea of inventing new silly subtitles for sequels like the Stanley Parable 3 Nonsense Chemicals? I'd like to start doing that now. Well, let's do it. Okay. Then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you've put faith in my in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken trophy, did he? Of course not. I wasn't expecting to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The trophy machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral it on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Olá. Estou a... Sim. Sim, estou nos últimos... coisas. Mano, what the fuck? Como assim, mano? The Stanley Parable 3 In Search of Hole. In Search of Hole. Mano, como é que eu já vou no Stanley Parable 3, mano?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley...
Isto diz aqui agora que cada vez que eu entrar no jogo, o jogo vai ser tipo uma sequela do último. Ou seja, a próxima vez que eu entrar vai ser The Stanley Parable 4.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
6, 7. Bem, deixa-me apanhar uma balde.
What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out.
Content. Não. Como assim, mano?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his
Bem, acho que eu já acabei o jogo.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Yeah.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
De mais
Was this better than the
achievement.
No, never mind. The bucket was
que é
gone.
jogar
Stanley
o jogo
took
durante
the door
uma
on his
terça-feira
left to go
inteira.
back to the meeting room.
Squid Game! Squid Game! Squid Game! Squid Game! Squid Game! Isto é a verdadeira essência do Stanley Parable. Encontrei a porta 456.
No, said the bucket.
Don't
go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Job.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Bem, acabei o jogo. Sei lá, pela última vez. Calma, mas... Mas era suposto ele ter-me dado aquele troféu e... Ah! Já
Now
sei.
this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed,
Já sei.
even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps. Finally, yes, the bucket. Yes, yes, yes. I love that bucket.
Yes, yes, yes.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Esta-me a anunciar Stanley Parable 2, sendo que eu
Yes,
já
you
vou no 3.
see, isn't this
Quase
far
no 4.
superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Cap. Calma. Foda-se. Buraco.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Nice.
As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the trophy? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure, composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
GG easy. Mano, conseguiu o troféu a puxar uma alavanca que dizia: puxa a alavanca e ganha o
What
troféu.
else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Máquina do troféu. Puxei a alavanca, saiu o troféu. Easy.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable... All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Ah? Eu joguei todas as vezes.
So, Stan.
Todas. Mano, agora como é que eu vou conseguir o troféu da terça-feira, mano?
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Mano, agora só me falta um troféu. Quero jogar isto durante uma terça-feira inteira. Mano, ele sabe. Juro-te. Porque é Stanley Parable.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
E eu já estou a ficar cheio deste gajo.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping... Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Calma. Quando eu conseguir entrar eu aviso.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet
Okay, what
FA.
the fuck? Olha, tu fizeste uma magia aí.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Eu ia aprender isso agora.
Só agora, pô.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never thought to mention it.
Broom closet!
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching
Minha
path.
parte favorita do
Maybe
jogo.
when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Man. Não. 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 Por quê, mano? Como é que é possível? Olha, eu vou te espancar, mano. Mano, eu fui ao Google pesquisar tipo Stanley Parable narrator para ver se existia alguma forma oficial dele, que eu estava curioso. E eu vi uma fanart, carreguei na fanart. Eu abri a fanart e era Yahweh. Era Rule 34 do narrador com o Stanley. É que eu fui puxando para baixo porque eu não estava a acreditar. E eu vi. Isso ia ficando pior. Mano, eu vi o Stanley no colo do narrador, tipo de frente. Mano, que estranho. Como é que isso é possível?
You too?
Como é que alguém pensa nisso?
Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Wingardium Negrosa. Bem, não tenho mais nada para fazer neste jogo. Oh, what the?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Então, e agora o que é que eu faço?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all the time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Huh?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Mano, como assim?
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there. Oh, no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Não olhes para a minha live neste momento.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball?
Road to Chelsea.
Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Capitão Delia.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Nah, man. I'm done with this shit. Nah, man, I'm done with this shit.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Já disseste. Tenho fome. I am the best at this game.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back.
This one's
There's
sad,
no
man.
way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Bem. Mas que legal.
All of his co-workers were gone. One man,
Bucket.
one bucket, one chance to seize their destiny together.
Bem,